I like to make a video clarifying my last night's sermon on Single Lives Matter. So one of my subscribers commented that he thought I was jealous of my colleague who was going out with his girlfriend. No, I am not. What I'm angry about is the differences that we treat various similar parallel situations. My coworker who wants to take time, leave work on time to go out with his girlfriend, and me wanting to leave work on time for various things that I like to do as a single guy. Let me give you some examples. Many years ago, I was doing some private tutoring, and I wanted to make sure this one particular night I could leave on time. I think I had the student from 7 to 8 p.m. if I remember correctly, and I really wanted to leave on time at 8 that day because I had a stargazing event in Ellensburg, Washington, and I wanted to make it to Ellensburg by 10 p.m. Ellensburg's about 2 hours away from Seattle, where I live. Now the problem is that I was tutoring this kid from 7 to 8 p.m. He was a third grader, if I remember correctly. But oftentimes we would end a lot later than 8. A lot of times we would go 15, 20 minutes overtime. And so this particular day, I was rushing to get to his home at 6:50 or so. Because even though nominally it was a 1 hour session, it was often more than 1 hour. So I get to his home at 6:50, and I don't expect them to be in a rush to start. And I get to their home, they're actually eating dinner. I didn't think that was a big problem. I would wait for them to finish. But his mom got really excited to see me, and he rushes down the last part of his dinner, and he makes a big mess on his face, which is a problem for me because I have food allergies, and having food particles like that all over him is a concern for me because I don't know what's in that food, right? I react badly to milk products. And see, if it were somebody else who needs to go home on time because, oh God, his wife is going through, some kind of medical issue, maybe chemotherapy, right? Or because they have kids that they need to pick up from football practice, right? Or a family matter, right? Oh my God, that would be so easy to deal with, right? I gotta leave at 8 sharp today to go see my significant other in the hospital. They're dealing with COVID, or my kids don't have a ride somewhere. They wouldn't have to sneak and get around that by showing up early and not being able to discuss what they're dealing with. Okay, now 4 years ago, I had a significant loss in my life. Somebody broke into my car and stole my computer. I had gotten a little bit lost in thought doing something, and I'm normally pretty vigilant about securing my stuff, but I got a little bit lost in thought dealing with something that day. And I wish I could have taken a few days off of work to collect my thoughts. Had it been, I had lost a grandparent, or maybe a pet had passed away. Oh my God, I wouldn't have to hide my thoughts, or I couldn't even tell anybody that my computer was stolen, because it just feels like I would be crying over something that really wasn't the business of anybody else. But you know what? My colleagues come in and tell me that their family members dealing with COVID, or they had a death in the family, the death of a pet, and they don't seem to have a problem with that, right? And then somebody breaks into my car. I had some precious metals that were stolen, and I got to deal with that myself. Right? It just doesn't feel congruent. It doesn't feel congruent at all, and I don't know why. Now, we had a policy that we could donate vacation time to our colleagues who are in need for various things. But in reality, what we think our needs are very incongruent with one another, right? Like I said, I really wish my coworker would give me a couple days of vacation to collect my thoughts when I lost my computer that time, or when I go when I have a stargazing event, I like to view, and I take very good photographs to show everybody every time, right? So back in December of 2020, I went out to see Jupiter and Saturn coming into conjunction, and unfortunately, you got to remember, back in those days, you couldn't go into a Starbucks to connect to Wi-Fi, right? And I was frantically looking for places where I could work remotely. I was plugging my computer into my car. I had a adapter to plug things into the car, and I fried the fuse in the car doing that because my computer uses 160 watts, which is kind of on the border of what the car could support. And I was frantically looking for places to find parts to replace the fuse, and just rushing around, right? I wish somebody would have given me a couple vacation days or filled in for the shifts involved so that I could go out to view Jupiter and Saturn in conjunction without them. See, if my coworker had said that he'd like to take his kids out to go view Jupiter and Saturn, that might have flowed a whole lot better, right? And that's what I mean by single lives matter, right? I have things that help with my mental health too, right? Just like my colleagues, my peers want to take time off to deal with their kids, right? I really wish the next time I had a significant loss in my life, right? I've had things stolen from me, I've had things broken into, I've had things break down, my car has broken down, what else have I dealt with before? Next time, I'm driving a very old car, right? I have a 2011 Mitsubishi Lancer. Eventually that car is going to die, right? And when it does, and I frantically need to replace it, especially somebody like me. I spent, at least before the pandemic, I used to spend a lot of time living out of my car. That's going to be a significant challenge to deal with. I don't mind dealing with it. I wish my peers would understand it, right? Just like if they, actually my car has died already in the last year. A lot of my coworkers, when their car dies, they have a spouse to drive them around. I don't, and couldn't even tell my coworkers why I was dealing with all this drama. I had to. I didn't had a lot of trouble getting to work, and I was very stressed out. I couldn't even tell my coworkers why I was stressed out, because not having a ride to work isn't an excuse that you hear a lot of at my age, right? Most people have a significant other, and that's what I mean. I have different needs. Why doesn't anybody give me vacation time when my car breaks down or I have mental health issues due to my computer being stolen?